Welcome to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast, where we unlock the power within and navigate the journey of your self-discovery together. I'm Shaz Sini, your spiritual mentor and life coach, here to help you tap into your inner guidance system and manifest your best life. Whether you're just beginning your spiritual journey or looking to deepen your practice, this podcast offers insights, techniques, and inspiration to elevate your consciousness and transform your reality. Get ready to shine your light and embrace your true potential. Remember, the answers are inside you. Let me be your guide on earth. Welcome back to Spiritual Awakening with Shaz. Today I'm sitting with the amazing Deb Keefer. Deb helps spiritually curious Christians connect with their angels through angelic Reiki sessions and practical guidance rooted both in faith and intuition. A certified angelic Reiki practitioner trained by the renowned angel medium Julie Jancis, she brings over 30 years of experience as an educator to her work, understanding that spiritual growth, like learning, requires meeting people exactly where they are. Her journey from traditional Lutheran upbringing to intuitive healer has been shaped by profound personal experiences with divine communication. From automatic writing to angelic encounters, Deb has experienced it all. She lives with her husband in Wisconsin, close to her kids and grandkids, where she continues to document her conversations with the other side and offers remote healing sessions to those ready to hear their angels whisper. Welcome, Deb. Thank you for joining me today. I'd love it if you could just introduce yourself a little bit further and tell us all about your amazing new book. Whispering Angels has just been launched yesterday and is already an Amazon bestseller. What would you like to share with us about your beautiful story?
Well, thank you for having me. The book just dropped yesterday, and I'm just excited to be able to help others and join the conversation as far as how you're able to communicate with the divine. And so I am a retired teacher of about 33 years. I was kind of trying to decide if I should retire. I had a few intuitives share with me that, or ask me, have you ever thought about writing a book? And I thought to myself, well, I have a lot of experiences I've had that I certainly could share. And I was just, I just said to God, okay, let me know, give me a sign if you want me to retire a year early and get going on this book. And heading into school one day, I said that little prayer. When I got to the school, I was getting ready for the day, and a colleague came in and said, Deb, I want to talk to you about retiring. And I just thought, that is my sign. So I went ahead and decided to retire a year early. And, I had a basic outline of what I thought the book would be. In meditation one evening, I sat down and just asked God to share with me, what do you think the things are that we should cover? And that outline pretty much stayed the same throughout the whole process. A few things changed. I did, include sharing about angelic Reiki and conversations that I had with the divine. But yeah, it just grew from there.
I love that. And what a perfect synchronistic sign from God, the universe answering you. The first
Mhm.
question they ask you is, let's talk about retirement. Retiring early is a good thing, especially after 33 years beautiful service as a teacher. Tell us about that. Who did you teach and what grade teacher were you?
I was blessed to teach fifth graders. And I did start out in the special education area, but then moved into fifth grade and I just felt so lucky. I loved teaching that age.
It is a beautiful age because they're more aware and a lot more questioning and understanding. And to develop young minds like that is a beautiful thing. I'd like to go back and talk about your spiritual awakening. Did you have a big trigger, or was it a slow burn into connecting with divine guidance and the angelic realm?
Well, it's kind of been both. I did receive some signs before, but I did have a major trigger that really got me interested in learning all I could about angels. Uh, was a fall day, and my son, who was 4 at the time, was in the back seat. I was pregnant with my daughter, and we were traveling north to go see my in-laws. And as I came upon a white van, I decided I was going to pass him, so I got into the passing lane. And as I'm passing him, I see him start to go over into the passing lane. And I knew at that moment, well, he's going to hit me. I'm trying to find my horn, and his van just went right through my SUV.
Wow.
There was no collision. They just melded together, and then he continued driving on. And in that moment, I was wondering why he didn't stop to check on us. But then I realized he had no idea I was there. And, I believe we were protected by Archangel Michael that day. It's just unbelievable.
I love that. And Archangel Michael is the most amazing protector. I actually had a quite similar experience, not quite in the same way, but I was coming home from work one day, coming down the local freeway, ready to turn right. And this truck was coming underneath the underpass of the freeway, and another car was coming around from the reservoir. And it turned in front of this truck. And I'm on the phone with someone from work on my Bluetooth, chatting to them. And I've seen the truck hit the car. The car's bounced, turned upside down. It's coming from my car. I've dived across the passenger seat and screamed, fuck! Like, I was
Mhm.
afraid this thing was going to hit me. And I've dived and tried to, like, duck underneath the car. And then I'm waiting for the impact. And as looked up, and I've sat back up in my car. And when I've sat back up, I'm looking in the rear vision mirror, and there's two gentlemen outside of their car ready to come see and help, shaking their heads, wondering why they're outside of their car, because the truck all of a sudden was about 200 meters back the road. And I believe someone literally picked it up and moved it back. I know I was protected that day. My friend on the phone was screaming at me, "Are you okay? What's going on?" Like, what the hell, Shaz? Like, they were petrified. They said they never heard fear like it. I had to hang up from Chris that day and just turn around and say, "I'll call you back." I was going to pick up my mate Damo. And when I got to him, he looked at me, he said, "What's wrong with you? You're white as a ghost." I said, "Man, you would not believe what just happened." I couldn't believe it for years.
Mhm.
And I'm like trying to understand it, talking to him. We're driving home, and down the road I heard one of my favorite songs on the radio, which is Valerie by Amy Winehouse, and it reminds me of my nan. And I turned around and I said, "Nan, was that you?" And she goes, "No, it was Michael." And I'm
Oh.
at first at this stage wasn't fully aware of all the connections of the archangels. I knew someone took care of me because this wasn't the first time he'd saved me. But
Mhm.
even my friend Damo in the car turned around and asked, "Who's Michael?" And I'm like,
Mhm.
"You wouldn't believe me if I told you." He does, because he's been with me for a long time.
Mhm.
But to hear someone else go through something similar, that just brings me this beautiful, joyous thing, because there's purpose for us, right? We're here for a reason. And I
Mhm.
believe part of this reason is not only your teaching journey, which is a gorgeous career, but this beautiful book and healing that you're doing now. So, as you went through that awakening and that experience changed your perception, tell me about some early interactions that you had with divine beings.
Before that,
Or between
um,
then and now?
oh, okay. Well, one of the first experiences I had was when I had my son. We brought him home from the hospital. In the middle of the night, I received a phone call, and that was when we had landline phones. And when I answered the phone, um, there was a lot of static, but there was an operator that said, collect call for Debbie from Debbie. Do you accept the charges? And I said, yeah, I accept the charges. And I could hear on the other end my grandfather's voice, who had passed on many years before. And I was kind of, I was scared because I thought, this is crazy. What am I, what's happening here? And I think because I was so afraid, that was enough to break the connection, because they don't want to scare us, you know. But I feel like he was welcoming my son, you know, into our family. Then when I had my daughter, that was at 1:06 a.m. When I had my daughter and we brought her home, the phone rang again at 1:06 a.m. And before I picked it up, I knew who it was. And so the same thing happened. The operator said, collect call for Debbie from Debbie. Do you accept the charges? And I said, oh, yeah. And again, there was static, but I could hear his voice far into the distance. He said my name, and I couldn't hear all of the message, but I knew why he was calling.
Wow.
So,
I've heard
yeah,
a lot of amazing things from spirit and the afterlife, but not making phone calls. That is phenomenal. And what a
yeah.
gift. Like that just shows the bond that you have between you and your grandfather, and to
Mhm,
recognize and honor your children. That is phenomenal. I love that.
mhm. Yeah, it was just an awesome feeling. It's like a hug from heaven.
It is, isn't it? And it's something that's unexplainable, right? And until you
Mhm,
experience it, hearing stories of it is fantastic. But when you experience some of these amazing miracles for yourself, it just changes your whole perspective in life.
mhm, right.
We mentioned in
And I
the
would
intro that you
mhm,
grew up Lutheran. Now,
mhm.
how did your beliefs and somewhat identities of who you are alter or change throughout your spiritual awakening journey? How did you manage the different perceptions around that?
Well, that's one of the things I struggled with while writing the book. I never had a question where these signs were coming from. I wasn't skeptical, but I know there are a lot of people out there that are. And so I do try to talk about that in the book. I had a wonderful religious upbringing. My mom was a very grateful Christian woman. And so she helped set the foundation that I had growing up in the Lutheran faith. But I also think, because of the experiences I've had, spirituality is more of a personal relationship that we have with God, his messengers, and so on. And the two can be melded together. Uh, but like I said, I do have some family members who don't agree with my views, and that's okay. I say that in the book. It's if you're not ready to hear this, it's okay. Because I know we're all on a different journey and we're at different spots in our lives.
Yeah, it's true. And some will wake up at different processes and times, and everyone's allowed their perception of the world. And it's just the
Hmm.
version that they look through and the lens that they experience. Every person that I've ever spoken to that has gone through that spiritual awakening practice or process has had something undescribable happen to them, something that's indefinable that changed who they are viscerally on the inside. And until you do, you can't experience it in that way. And that's okay, as long as they have some faith or belief in something and live life in a nice, honest, open way. That's all that matters.
Right, right.
What practices, teachers, or modalities supported you during your reconnection to the spirit world and to your soul?
I started taking classes from, I became an angel member of Julie Jancis's membership. Took a lot of classes from her and just really opened my eyes to before this, I didn't feel like I had any gifts to receive information from the divine, but learned through taking classes with her that I did indeed, and everybody does. It's just a matter of strengthening your abilities. And so I ended up taking her Angel Reiki certification, and that was an amazing experience, just working with people that I didn't know and receiving guidance for them while working with them with angelic Reiki was just and I did with friends and family, but to really prove that you're picking up on things, it's working with those strangers that where you realize, okay, it was just a neat experience. Yeah.
I love that because I'm an angelic Reiki master practitioner too. I added it after Reiki originally. It is a whole different feeling, especially when you invite your angel in through your body and they merge energetically with you. The
Hmm.
bliss of that feeling is phenomenal. It's just
Hmm.
really beautiful.
Right.
When did the idea of writing Whispering Angels first appear, and how did you know that you would write a book?
Um, I don't, I guess it was when I spoke with the intuitives that kind of guided me to even think about it. And when I came to the idea that, yeah, I'm going to write a book, I really felt like I was called to do that. I feel like there are messages that I learn in the book that come from God that tell me how I'm supposed to live my life. And it's just nice to share that with other people. And hopefully it will help other people.
I'm sure it will. What was your intention behind the book? Who did you write it for?
Well, I do say it's a practical guide to listening to angels and receiving their messages. So I guess that was my main focus is maybe if I'd had something like this when I was first, I had experienced the triggering highway incident. Um, I just talk about what has worked for me and share. I do share things about automatic writing. That has been a huge um, that's just been huge for me. That's one of the easiest ways for me to communicate. And so I do talk about that quite a bit and hope that others will pick up on that.
Beautiful. And so most of your writing process was through inspiration and guidance.
Hmm. Yeah.
What was the most challenging part about the book? What was the most surprising or magical part for you?
It was challenging for me to try and explain to others why it's all right to have a religious background and then meld the spirituality. I struggled with trying to find ways to explain that. Examples, in the Bible. Um, that was the hardest part. And then the most magical part was the receiving messages from the archangels to put in the book. And at first I wasn't going to include that. I I thought, well, who wants to know about my dialogue? But then I came to change my mind because it really the messages are there for us all, not just me.
Yeah, I love that because I'm writing a book about archangels and my experiences, as well as case studies from things that I've taught people through readings and healing journeys and how they've showed up in their life from when they needed support. The big thing is angels are around us everywhere, every single day. They just need permission to come and assist us, and we have to ask for their help.
Mm. Absolutely.
wish and pray more people ask.
Mhm. That's so true. I mean, even when I'm praying, I am very specific in what I'm asking for because, like you said, you need to be specific and ask for help.
Yeah. And how has the book journey changed you both personally and spiritually?
Well, I'm a lot more open about this with my husband. He's been, he has shared experiences with me that are in the book. But after, he read it, he's just like, wow, I see another side to you that, you know, um, so that's been good. I'm glad that has happened in our lives. I'm trying to be a more grateful Christian person and just one of the mantras that comes through in the book quite often that the angels share with me is that I am meant to share love to others. And I just try to use that mantra as I'm going forward.
I love that. It's beautiful. And we're all meant to share love with others. And I hope that love is something that is spread far and wide. We need more of it in this world. Do you have a core message that you want readers to take from your book, Whispering Angels?
Um, a message just of, I guess, the reassurance that um we are able to communicate with God, our angels, those loved ones that have passed on. And that is another part of this, just realizing that they are always with us. And that's comforted me because I've lost both my parents and a brother. And that was part of the healing journey for me and the grieving process is just being able to communicate with them.
It's a game changer, isn't it? I love the fact
Mhm,
that I can still communicate with my twins and my stepsister and my grandparents, everyone in spirit. It's just a beautiful blessing to know life continues on and they are available to support us when we need them.
mhm.
Who are you becoming now that the book is out? What's next for you?
Well, I'm trying to figure that out, I guess, with more time that I have. I am, wanting to be more involved with the angelic Reiki that I was taught. There's been a little bit of a, I was first trained during COVID. And so most of my work was remotely, it had to be. And so I'm just kind of starting to get back into that right now and just want to help others.
Beautiful. And angelic Reiki is so powerful when you do it at a distance. You can feel the vibration through the screen. I've done it and received it, and I love that for you. You have a do you have a booking link or somewhere where people can find you if they want to come and have an angelic Reiki experience with you?
I do include on the back of the book my email address. I don't have a website as of right now, but my email address is on there. So
No worries, we'll include that in the transcript for everyone. If you could send a message to the earlier version of you who was struggling, who didn't know what was going on in the world, what would you say?
just realize that we have to accept God's timing in our lives instead of our own. So much of the time we're centered around everything that's going right or wrong with us, and we want an immediate fix. But, you know, it, just pray about it, ask for what you need, and it will eventually reach you.
I love that. Divine timing's everything. We want it all yesterday. Do you have a copy of your book with you?
I do. This is the cover of the book.
How beautiful.
And yeah, I love the three angels there, and then the sky is in the shape of a heart. And hearts are that's a kind of a sign from heaven for me. And I just love the way the colors came together and just pictured how I wanted it. I
There's
think
nothing more
Cassidy Lee,
beautiful than holding your
yeah,
puppies there.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
that love and feel of the effort that you've put in it. It's a really
Mhm.
awesome thing. Congratulations, Deb, on doing that. I
Thank you.
love the connection of it. It fully aligns with who I am. As I said, I'm writing a book about my archangel experiences and how to work with them too, and hope to share that with people in time. It is phenomenal. They've been in my life so often, even more so. As I looked back and shared different experiences with the different archangels, I surprised myself with how many different things happened and how far back it went. It's something that I never try to take for granted. Sometimes you forget that different aspects happen and their interventions have changed you. But it's beautiful to be able to have this divine connection with everything around you. Do you have one final message that you want to say to anyone who may be struggling right now, how this book can help them and where they can find it?
Oh, just hang in there if you're struggling. There is always someone out there who is cheering you on. And um, I think that in the book, I do share some challenging times that I had in my own life and how divine guidance just helped me get through them. It The book is available on Amazon, so it's easy to find.
Fantastic. I will share all the links and connections to Deb's Facebook, her email, and the Amazon site so that you can purchase the book. It's available in Kindle copy as well as hard copy. Is that right?
Yep, and it's on Audible as well.
Excellent. I can't wait to read it myself. I'm really excited about it. I'm going to go and purchase it. And thank you for joining me today. I really appreciate you sharing this journey. Congratulations on all the sales that you're getting. I hope that you change many hearts and souls with this book. It's much needed in the world. Angels have massive impact if you allow them and invite them into your life. It's been a pleasure to get to know you, and I look
Well,
forward
thank
to
you.
hearing so much more.
Thanks for having me.
My pleasure, Deb. Until next
Mhm.
time. Thanks for listening to the Spiritual Awakening with Shaz podcast. Don't forget to like and subscribe down below so you don't miss an episode. You can also follow us on Facebook with the links below. Until next time, trust your intuition and let your spirit soar.